Okay, guess I'm on. So this is the second. It's the third stream, but it's the second video concerning other favorite films besides the tentative top 10. They could be films directed by those directors in the tentative top 10 that are other films, or other films that are done by other directors that are not in that top 10. And then it also features films that are honorable mentions. Maybe they're not my favorites, but they're good. They're very good. They're very good movies. Um, anyways, um, I guess nobody's on right now, and I want to mention something. I wanted to mention it when I put my video up on YouTube earlier tonight. Um, Maybe I put it up maybe half an hour ago or so. I showed my Blu-ray pickups that I got from Barnes and Noble, my Criterions, um, and another movie that I picked up as well. But yeah, I was going to mention something in that video pertaining to what's happening here. I did say I'd be on like 7:40, 7:45, 7:35, and then it took a long time to load the video up to the hard drive from the um, iMovie into YouTube. Um, and I'm just thinking about it now. I just forgot that um, I didn't delete the video off the hard drive, but that doesn't matter. But I'll do it after I do this stream right here. So I see one person's on. Um, so I maybe I should repeat myself again. So I'm doing. Oh, hey, Sasha. So I'm doing a stream. This is my third stream. Um, the first stream I did was well, Sasha's the only one here, I guess. But um, Sasha, I did a second stream yesterday. Maybe you saw it. I'm not sure. Anyway, and in that stream, I did my other favorite movies that are not in the tentative top 10. They're movies that could be directed by some of the same directors in that top 10, or they could be films that are not in that top 10 by other directors. And then I also decided to put in honorable mentions. So I was going to mention something. I put up a video, Sasha, today, maybe like half an hour ago. Oh, you saw it. Okay. Yeah. I didn't mention something, but another video that I loaded up to YouTube like a day or so ago, I said something else that um, concerned an issue with the stream. And I just wanted, maybe I should wait until more people get on and see what happens, because if something happens, I want to make sure that you know um, everybody ignores what it is, and just focuses on you know on the stream rather than some diversionary kind of thing. So okay, um, so there's just one here. So I guess I'll start. Um, yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree with what you said about that too. Yeah, Wolf Gratz was on last night, and Carlos. I can't remember the rest of his name. That was the first time I talked to Wolf Gratz. Like, well, he was in the chat box, but it was the first time I'd ever talked to him, because I've never seen him on camera, and he sometimes leaves comments on my videos. I maybe he does on your, Sasha, as well. I think he does. And he's from the UK, but he left a whole bunch of comments on the last video I was on. So, anyways, let's see. I'm sort of stalling in a way because I'm trying to see if more people will join. I mean, Sasha, I maybe I'm repeating myself, or I said this before you got on. I said I'd be on at like 7:45, 7:35, but then the video took longer to load up to YouTube, and then I kept pushing the time forward. So here I am now. Well, let's do 2 Japanese videos that I didn't show yet, before I show the Kurosawa. Oh, you haven't noticed that name? Yeah, I think he's left comments on your videos. He's left comments in mine. He's left comments in other YouTubers as well. Um, but so you got. I was like Aaron Pin. I can't tell if Aaron Pin does his videos like if he's sitting on the floor when he's doing his videos. And last night I was sitting on the floor near my couch doing the videos, but I hurt my knees too much, so here I am on the couch. All right, so here's another one of my favorites. I get terrible lighting for this. In the realm of the senses. Maybe if I it's a Criterion by Nagisa Oshima. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. You might know that, Sasha. I don't know how to access the camera. I'm not sure if I'm going to access more people on here rather than just me. I might do like Aaron Pin does it. And partially the reason I would not give a link in the chat is because I'm afraid a troll's gonna wander in. Oh, there's a second person on now. I think I got to adjust the lighting. Oh, another Criterion. I think I could show this. I'm not really. I don't think that's good lighting. Maybe I should move to my desk. I don't know. But I've got all the video. I've got all my DVDs and Blu-rays on the couch and on the floor. You know what? Let me bend the lamp so I can get better lighting. I think it's also the problem with the camera. Hang on, I'll be right back. Let's see what happens. I turned the light off. Maybe that'll help. Oh, they're very disturbed. I've been watching the female. My friend has a female prisoner scorpion, DVD. Well, it's DVD and Blu-ray. I've been watching the Blu-rays. It's an Arrow release. It's a box set. It's a set of 4 Japanese films, and I'm really enjoying them. Well, there's one person now. So, have you seen In the Realm of the Senses, Sasha? So this is Naruse, When a Woman Ascends the Stairs. course, I said this. I said it before, Sasha, on my previous stream that I've shown all these films, and when I showed my collection videos rather, um, I don't know if somebody else is on a stream right. If there's a whole bunch of other people on a stream right now. Have you seen this one? Sort of like a woman, I think, trying to get out of a bad situation. Well, you know, because like I said last night, at least at one point in time, women in Japan were subservient to men. I have other Naruse. Well, I have silent Naruse somewhere up there. Yeah, maybe that's the only other Naruse I have. I should have come on earlier. I know that Aaron Pin did a stream earlier today. I saw it on my phone, but by the time I took my break at work, he had finished the stream. So, and I don't think that's usual for him. Usually he does the streams late at night. So, well, you know, the thing is, if only one person is watching the stream, you know, and after I end it, there'll be more people to watch it. So maybe the timing's bad. Maybe I sort of fooled people, making people think that it was going to be earlier, and I just screwed everything up or whatever. So my apologies, but I mean, Sasha, because you know, you have all the Kurosawa, of course. I'm just showing it for people that don't have it. This is a really good movie. I haven't watched my copy of Dreams yet, but I have seen it before. I did own it before on DVD. But I got rid of that one and got this instead. That's what Sasha knows probably, but that's Kurosawa right there directing. And that's a Fox. That's the first one. Fox for Another Story. Oh, this is your favorite Kurosawa film. Let's see many of these films. Another Story. I think it's not getting dark now that you can see the images better. I don't know. Maybe at some point in the near future, I'll let people on. Partially, I don't even know how to get them on. You know, I don't know how that happens. I'm totally new to the streaming thing, and I've toyed with the idea of doing a stream, but I've never actually done one. So. Oh, I have the second Kurosawa I have is, or well, not. I have more up there, but another favorite of mine, High and Low, which is based on a Ed McBain novel called 87th Precinct, maybe. I'm just guessing. And I think Tatsuya Nakadai is in this. It's about this businessman whose son is kidnapped by this criminal, but things sort of get worse as the film progresses. And I'll go. That's all. That's as far as I'll go. I think that I don't want to ruin too much in the movie. I think part of the reason that only one person might be on, oh yeah, Heaven and Hell, yeah, is maybe because I recorded a video. It took me long. It's a whole thing that with the video, loading it up and saying that I'd be on at like 7:45, 8 o'clock or whatever. Well, whatever. And it took longer than I thought it would to upload to YouTube. And then people were thinking, and I went to the stream part of my YouTube channel to fix it and say, like, I don't know how it exactly works, but change the time that I was supposed to be on, even though I don't know if it works that well, because it gives you I've seen on some people's YouTube channels like CP and I don't know if you do it, Sasha, but like you put a reminder up, you say like, I'm going to be on at such and such a time. And of course, I think I've noticed that when people put up a time, they're not necessarily on then. Sometimes they're on earlier, sometimes they're on later. I'm trying to remember which disc is which. That's disc 1. And Sasha, you aren't a fan of this setup of the discs rubbing against each other, I guess. Yeah. I think that was the case with the previous stream I did. It said I was on at like 5 o'clock, and that's not the case at all. Hidden Fortress, this is a Blu-ray. Well, it's a dual format, actually, before they went all Blu-ray, I guess you could say. This is the movie that Star Wars is based on. You have these two peasants, maybe they are. They're supposed to, and those are supposed to represent R2-D2 and C-3PO. And it is a good transfer. Hidden Fortress. Oh, and in terms of how long I'm going to be on, at the most an hour, I think. I've got tons. I was saying, Sasha, last night that somebody else is on now. I was saying last night. Oh, I see the Blu-ray and DVD. What was I saying? I can't remember. Oh, I know. So these two peasant characters, they represent R2D2 and C3PO, and then there's a princess that's like Princess Leia, and the Toshiro Mifune is like the Han Solo character. So this was Star Wars is sort of lifted from this, and I think Kurosawa he had a huge influence on Lucas, at least with this movie. I showed that. Next, we've got I thought it was showing the sequel, but I haven't watched the sequel in a long time. I can't remember entirely. And I thought maybe it's related sort of to Star Wars, but I don't know. So I decided to just have to show the first one because this is another favorite Kurosawa of mine. It's Yojimbo. They have a box set of Yojimbo and Sanjuro, and I was looking for it, and I think I bought this at Best Buy, both of them at Best Buy, separate. And then I went to Borders and I found the box set. But it was too late, and I didn't want to return them and everything. So I have them separately. It's the same thing. You just get you get them in two cases rather than one box set. There's not really any artwork there. Oh, the screen wipes. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, he does that. I have shown my book collection. That's Toshiro Mifune right there, one of Kurosawa's regulars. I have a book by Kurosawa. It's called something. I think it's called Something Like an Autobiography. I think that's the title. And it's Kurosawa like writing an autobiography. And I think he finishes the book at about the time he did Rashomon, which is another one I'm going to show. Sasha, I don't know if I'm doing this stream the way you do it or if I'm doing it a different way that you do it, because it doesn't say Google Hangouts on it. I wonder if I'm doing a different kind of YouTube thing. I don't know, but this is one of my favorites, Seven Samurai. It's a DVD, but I've heard that the actual film itself has been so damaged or not in good shape that you can't really tell the difference between the DVD and the Blu-ray. Maybe I'm wrong on that. So you get, with the Blu-ray, I think it's all in one disc. The film, I mean. And maybe the special features too. I think the Blu-ray has two DVDs. I mean, two Blu-rays, rather than in the case of the DVDs, you have three DVDs. So you got the first part of the film. It's one of the farmers in the start of at the start of the movie. And then you have part two. I don't know what that. That's Toshiro Mifune, I think, and Takashi Shimura, if I'm not mistaken. Takashi Shimura was also one of Kurosawa's regulars, as was Tatsuya Nakadai. Oh, and I forgot to say about Yojimbo. I think it was the first film that Nakadai was in of Yojimbo's, and I think it was one. I'm just guessing on this, but I think Well, am I guessing? I think it was his starting role, or maybe one of his first starring roles. Tatsuya Nakadai. He played. He plays the samurai with a gun in Yojimbo. So I think I read. Yeah, I read this. I read. I don't always read the booklets that come with the criterions, but here and there I do. And I think I read through this one. Pretty sure I did. I watched this for my marathon, the Ryan Chataway marathon. I can't believe it. I'm almost halfway through, and I'm still on Kurosawa. But for a period film is Jedi. Oh, really? Oh. This is Akira that stars Takashi Shimura, who, again, is a regular. It means to live, I believe, in Japanese is what that means. He's a man that has stomach cancer, and he has this job, like an office job, a government office job, and he wants to do something meaningful with his life before he dies. He tries to have contact with his adult son. He tries to spend time with one of his coworkers and like find find some kind of connection with youth, and gets drunk and tries to have a good time that way and see if he's really living. But then he does something significant. And the way this film's structured too, I mean, I think it's at least half, if not, it's more like 3/4 of the film. Some 3/4 of the film doesn't even focus. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but not all of it that you see. I'm having a hard time explaining this about Ikiru. It's there's a lot of flashbacks, and you get told what he did and how significant it is, and how he made his life meaningful. It's a good movie. Here's Rashomon. This is what Kurosawa. Yeah, I have Stray Dog, but I didn't include it as one of my favorites. It's good, but it's up there. I have a few Kurosawa up in my bookcase because they're not my favorite Kurosawas. So this is the Blu-ray. I had the DVD. Oh, and by the way, my brother, a few of the films he's seen that I've brought home or whatever. He likes Kubrick's The Shining, 2001, Clockwork Orange, but he likes Kurosawa's Ikiru a lot. I think he likes Seven Samurai, but I don't know if my brother's a repeat viewer, but I think he might be a repeat viewer, and I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Not on Ikiru, So there was other person than Sasha that was here, but they left, I guess. So, to the people that are watching this recorded, I'm gonna try and be on maybe I can be on every day. Today's a Wednesday. Maybe I can be on tomorrow, Thursday. I've got a load of films to get through, and yesterday when I was compiling them all together, I had no idea that I would have so many to go through. But maybe I should have picked up on it because I showed my collection a while back, like a year or so ago, and that took me 69 videos, and some of those videos were anywhere from 30, 40, 50 minutes each. So in a way, I'm sort of repeating myself. But in those particular instances, I showed films that I'd never seen before. I showed films that were my favorites. So these are more pared down, even though it's a lot, Ron. Studio Canal had a license with Criterion, and Studio Canal releases mostly French films, a French film company, but they released a few that were other countries, like The Third Man, which I also have, and Ran, which is Japanese. And they only had a limited release with Criterion. So after they had expired, you couldn't get them anymore. I think this is out of print, and I think, Sasha, maybe you have Ron. Maybe you have a different edition of Ron that you say maybe the cover, the transfer is even better than this. Maybe this is the DVD. So, but maybe the Blu-ray looks better. It probably does. I just don't want to double dip. I'm satisfied with what I have. As I said in my previous stream, I'm more into just watching the movie. I don't mind. I said in the previous video, I don't mind if my DVD covers are a little damaged, or if my DVDs are not totally secure in the case, if they fall out. I really had to scratch it up to really ruin them. And I said in the previous stream that I have a lenticular cover, Time Bandits, and I left it in the back of my car, and the sun beat down upon it, and it bent the lenticular cover. Oh. So is the new 4K even better than the Criterion? Well, anyways, tomorrow when I'm going to be on for another 30 minutes right now, probably. Tomorrow, I think I'll be on tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. I think I'll restrict myself to each stream, maybe about an hour's worth, and I'll try and come on earlier, and I won't have the pickup video like I did today, and that also took time because I had to upload it to YouTube, so. And this is based on King Lear, and Throne of Blood's based on Macbeth. And this last one, I don't know. I think it's based on Hamlet. I think it's loosely based on Hamlet. Really good. That's when earlier lists, they had less in their catalog at the time. There's a great scene in this movie where a few guys are taking this other guy in a car, and he's witnessing something about himself. I'll just put it that way. I want to spoil it, but I thought that scene was really cool. And just showing all these movies makes me want to watch them again in a way, but then I got all these films I've bought that I haven't seen before, and I want to watch those. I don't know. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, collection video. Um, what should I do next? I'm trying to. Let me see. I have a series of westerns. Well, not a ton, but like a few westerns. And if I thought if Jace was on, maybe that'd be the opportune time to show those. Maybe I should hold off on those. Uh, let's see. Let's hold off. Um, I'll hold off on those for a little while before I get to the honorable mentions. So now we've got, yeah, Orson Welles. First off, we have another film that he directed besides Citizen Kane called Touch of Evil. Film noir was around officially sort of in the late 40s to early mid 50s. And I think this is regarded as the official end of film noir, even though technically it moved. There were no films that were noirish as time has gone by, like Brian De Palma movies or, um, you know, um, Blade Runner is a sci-fi noir, and you know, um, but the official noir, like when it was where it came from, I think they say that this one is the end of the noir, and it's kind of interesting because because noir has the characteristic narrow alleyways, city streets, set at night, um, and um, and this is like out in the desert in the wide open plain, wide open and during the day and night too. But it's a noirish movie, and Orson Welles does an excellent performance. As what's the guy's name that what's his name? Well, whatever his name is, and he's dealing with he's dealing with a Mexican played by Charlton Heston, and his American wife played by Janet Leigh. And then they got Akeem Tamaravov or whatever his name is, who is in the movie by Godard, Alphaville. So I'm pretty sure that's the same guy. And it's just about police corruption. Marlene Dietrich's in this. It's got great music. I've watched this a few times. And again, I showed Magnificent Ambersons in my collection pickup today. And after Citizen Kane and the fact that Orson Welles portrayed Hearst sort of in a bad way, sort of alluded to him in Citizen Kane, he got a lot of his films butchered and messed up with. And same is the case with this. But this particular version was restored by Walter Murch, who's an editor and sound designer who did the editing and sound design for Apocalypse Now. He edited Godfather 2. I think he did the sound design for Godfather 1, and he edited and sound designed the Conversation. So thank God that this has been restored to the way it should be. And this film, Carol Reed directed. It's another Studio Canal release, Criterion. And I think there's rumors that Orson Welles was secretly directing it, sort of. So, and there's an early appearance in here by the man who plays M in the earlier James Bond movies. He plays one of the military guys. There's a scene with a guy with a balloon. Oops. I didn't know that was going to fall out. There's a scene with a guy with balloons in this movie at night. And it reminds me of another movie that I'll be showing later on that's German called M by Fritz Lang, with a balloon salesman there as well. And I maybe it's an homage to M, that balloon man in this scene, in this film, I mean. So maybe I felt like doing these streams because Aaron was doing them, so I felt, why not do these? I don't want to. Oh, another thing I want to say is I don't want anybody who watches this, watch any of my videos, feel obligated to buy movies. You know, if you don't have the money, borrow them. You know, get them from the library. You know, if you feel like streaming them, stream them. If you can't if you don't have the means to watch them because of financial reasons, or because of the fact that maybe you're in a remote area and you can't access certain streaming platforms or cable television, you know, I'm just sharing with you what I have, and no pressure. And let's. And the third man is about this guy called Harry Lime, played by Orson Welles, who's like spends time in the black market, and he's thought of as dead at the time when he's alive, but I mean, not alive. When Joseph Cotten, who was a regular of his Mercury Theater troupe, comes to Vienna to find him and finds out he's dead. But there's more to the story than that, you know. So yesterday I showed some of my favorite superhero films, and I don't really have many because I'm not a big superhero person. I showed Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. I have F for Fake. I have the Criterion, but I haven't watched it yet. So and I'm not. Maybe I've seen a few of these Marvel movies. I'm not really into those. I'd watch other Marvel movies because I like to watch movies, critique them, and I can leave my brain at the door sometimes and just enjoy, you know. But it's just eye candy, and just, I don't know. It just doesn't stimulate me like it used to, I guess, if that at all. But another favorite of mine, superhero films, the original Superman with Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder, Gene Hackman, Ned Beatty, Marlon Brando. And it has a nice special features on it. This is a two-sided DVD. But it's more, how can you put the Superman, more simpler, more not all this razzle dazzle eye candy, just much. I mean, if you listen to the commentary, the screenwriter for the film, Mankiewicz, and the director, Richard Donner, were saying, like, if they were going to make this movie and make it successful, they'd have to sort of dumb it down a bit. So that it would be a big success, you know, make it kind of corny-ish, you know, with humor and everything. So, and I think they succeeded, you know. Somebody else is now, so that has joined, I just see. Okay, so now we get to horror movies, and did I show one of them? Oh, no, I didn't show any of them yet. I have 4 favorite horror films, and one of them is in this box set. This is the Alien Quadrilogy. It's got Internet Eric here. He showed his Alien box set a day or so ago, and his was a Blu-ray box set. I think it's the same thing as this. Maybe it has a few more special features. I don't know. I'm satisfied with this. I'm not going to double dip again. But if, and this is a nice box set to have, you know, because like, for example, with each movie, you get a director's cut and a theatrical cut. And you get loads of extras too. So, you know, if you can find, you know, there's a lot of good, I mean, it depends upon the kind of movie collector you are. I mean, if you want like really beautiful shots, you know, really beautiful picture, you might want to have a Blu-ray, you know, and or you still might have a Blu-ray, but if you want to just have some of them on DVD, that's another thing you can do. You know, if you want to save money, maybe. Oh, hey, Wolf. So, Wolf, I'm going to be about probably 14 minutes on. So, I kept confusing people, I think, with the well, first I was loading up a movie, and it took me to, not a movie, I'm sorry, I loading up a video that I did for YouTube of my Blu-ray pickups that I bought at Barnes & Noble, and I thought it would get up on YouTube before 8 o'clock, and it got on before 8, and then I got on a little late, and maybe that affected being on, having, you know, Sasha being on for this long, just him. There was another person on here before. I don't know who it was, but anyways, so Alien's one of my favorite horror films. It's sort of like Sophocles. Yeah, I don't know if I've read any Greek plays. I do like literature. I did like history. Oh, and that reminds me. I don't know if I said this. I showed some of my book collection. I think it was earlier in the year when it was cold outside, because my books are up in the attic above me, and during the summer it's like an oven in here because I'm on the third floor, and um, um, the attic above me would be real hot. So maybe sometime during the winter, I can gather more boxes of my books and show them off. So yeah, Alien's like a haunted house on a spaceship. It's really well done, and the sequel, Aliens, is a very good one too. Alien 3 is David Fincher's first film. It's pretty bad. Alien Resurrection, kind of bad. But if you want to be a completist, if you want to watch Alien films, it's not a bad box set to have. And I do have Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I don't have the one that goes before it. I know, Sasha, you said it'd be good as a coaster. My other favorite horror film, I've Two in the Dead series by Romero. The first one being Night of the Living Dead, but I don't know. It's somewhere in my collection, and it's just in a box set with a bunch of other horror movies, and I don't think I need to show it. But this is the other one. Maybe this is my favorite Dead film, Dawn of the Dead, and I refuse to even acknowledge the leader. Oh, this is signed by George Romero. This was a few years ago, just maybe a year before he died. He was at this horror convention that I went to. Yeah. It's kind of hard to show this with the pictures behind, because Gotta juggle. Oops. Like there. And there. That alien box set, if I try to take those discs out and put them in, it'd be a mess. Yeah, well, it would just be hard. It would be a big job, because putting them in, taking them out. There are only 4 discs here, so I feel I can handle this better. And then you get this comic book. I got a comic book with my Batman Begins DVD. I'm not a comic book person, but nice thing to get, I guess, And it comes with this guide. It was shot at, I think it's called the Monroeville Mall. It's got some audio commentaries. I think the audio commentaries are not too bad on these. Well, I watched Day of the Dead. I watched Land of the Dead. I watched Diary of the Dead. I know Day has a commentary. Pretty sure Land does too. I think Diary does as well. And speaking of commentaries, I think I showed Spielberg yesterday, and I can't remember if I said this, but I think it's the case with Spielberg, Lynch, and Tarantino. I don't think any of their movies that they have done have commentary tracks on them. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Okay, so now let's see. I've got 8 minutes. I've got animated movies, but I think that's going to take too long. And I've got top favorite. I know what I'll finish on. I'll finish on these, are they science? 2 of them are science fiction and one sort of like fantasy. Oops. Oh, third person's on. Okay, so you made individual sleeves, huh? Five Easy Pieces. I have the BBS box set, or BBS. The Criterion. I like it. It's a good movie. Like of course, the character, the well-known diner scene. The director Bob Rafelson says, "Oh hey Eric." The director of Five Easy Pieces says that the scene in the diner, everybody knows that, even without knowing what the film is. So Eric, I've been on for 54 minutes. I'm gonna go off about maybe 6 minutes from now. This is my 3rd stream, and first stream I did was my 10 tentative top favorite films of all time, and that meant that those films in that top 10 could other films by the directors in those top 10 movies could be replaced by other films in that by those directors that would be just as good. And then there are other films that are not in that top 10 by other directors that are my favorites as well. and then I have honorable mentions. But I said yesterday I was collecting so many movies out of my collecting. I'm taking so many films out of my film collection that it was just yeah, yeah. I screwed up on the start time. I was loading up a video and I thought it would get up earlier on the YouTube, and it was just it just I was trying to be on earlier, like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. But well, I guess I got on at around 9 o'clock. All right. Well, anyways, so I have this on DVD box set, but then where I work at the library in the basement, they sell used DVDs and Blu-rays and new ones too. So I got it. I think it was $12. So it's a Blu-ray Ultimate Matrix Collection. The DVD I have signed by Joe Pantoliano, who plays Cypher. So in this collection, Matrix is one of my favorite science fiction movies. But this box set is nice because you get the two sequels. You get Animatrix, which is several other films that go with the Matrix Matrix universe, and then you have behind the scenes stuff. You have philosophy, religion, and psychology theories about it. You got advertising stuff. I mean, really, really in-depth stuff. It's quite. I don't know if any of you guys have this, but it's really in depth. Lots and lots of hours of footage, and I think what my friend said was there's commentaries on each movie. I think what my friend said was, I think Cornel West, he's a professor at Harvard, or last I knew he was. He's one of the he's one of the people on the commentary, and he's with another academic person on one of the commentaries, and they really praise the movie. I think I haven't listened to the commentaries. I think I've heard this from a friend of mine who borrowed my box set, and I think the film critics that were given a chance to do a commentary on the movies, they don't like the movies, I think, and they trash it basically. I think that's how it goes. But the Wachowskis allowed them to come on the disc and say what they wanted. I think that's how it goes. But I've discussed this a little with Sasha, but I think, the Wachowskis had more to the Matrix universe than just the first Matrix. That was incredibly. There's much more to it than just the first movie. It was just the tip of the iceberg. I remember I saw Reloaded in the theater, and I think people were sort of upset by that it let people down a little bit. And then when I saw Revolutions at the theater, like hardly anybody was there. So that's the Matrix box set. So we're winding down. So this, I had some of my movies that I own, I have more than one cut. Sometimes they come that way in a box set, you get different cuts of the same film. This particular film, I have two different editions of that I had to buy separately. I think these are better than Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings are entertaining, but I've said this before, I don't think they're the greatest films ever made. But I think this is better than Lord of the Rings, and it's King Kong. And I think it might be even better than the original King Kong. And it's just, special effects. And maybe people aren't thrilled with the CGI, but I just love it. It's a fun movie. Yeah, I saw John Wick. John Wick was okay. the I saw it at the Alamo Draft House, and the directors of the film, they were I think they were choreographers for the Matrix films. So now I had the extended cut of King Kong, which if I watched either one of them, I'd probably watch this version because I like if I can get a longer, I probably watch a longer. By the way, the Lord of the Rings, I'm not going to show them, but I showed them in my collection videos. The Lord of the Rings box sets are great if you want to see everything about how a movie's made. Even I think they even touch like catering. Then that's the movie you should. That movie. Those are Blu-rays that are worth, or DVDs. They're worth buying because you see every facet of the filmmaking process. They show you like every picture they did of each character, like all the earlier pictures of Gollum to the present, everything, the sets. I mean, even practical jokes played upon the cast and crew. It's just crazy. So, but this was fantastic. When this came out in the theaters, they had like somewhere I have it. Oh, it's up on my desk. Special, like a diary thing where they showed scenes from the movie shot on certain days. So that's kind of cool. And I think I'll finish with this because I'm going just a little over an hour now. Star Wars trilogy. I know Sasha. I'm showing them some DVDs. The other Star Wars films are okay. Well, I'm not a fan of the prequels that much. I like the Pod Race and Phantom Menace. I like how Darth Vader becomes Darth Vader at the end of Revenge of the Sith, but most of the prequels, almost all of it, I hate. And the new ones are okay. I haven't seen Solo, but really, if I was going to watch Star Wars, I'd watch Return of the Jedi. I'm not really wild about, like the Ewoks. I feel they're like teddy bears, and I don't think they're like really good representations of what aliens would be, But I think this was the very first film I remember seeing in my life. I think my mother took me to maybe some Disney films or something before that, but this is the actual film I remember seeing first. I saw this in '77 when I was 4 or 5 years old, and we went to the theater and there was a long line, and and I've seen this several times when I was a kid. Like it went to cable, then it went to Laserdisc when Laserdisc was the big deal. Then it went to television. Well, then it went to television. It went to videotape. It went to DVD. Now it's Blu-ray, of course. And then one of the greatest sequels of all time. Maybe another one would be Godfather 2, but this is great. The Empire Strikes Back. The ending's fantastic. What was I going to say about Empire Strikes Back? I mean, it's a sequel movie. It's not a movie that it's a bridge movie. It's not a movie that's like a movie unto itself. I mean, it's like a continuation kind of a thing. It's kind of unique in that sense. It's not a film that, I mean, like Godfather 2. Maybe you could watch Godfather 2, maybe without watching Godfather 1. But I don't know. You probably have to watch the first Star Wars to know about this one. I don't know. I know what I was going to say. It's a tearjerker at the end when Leia says "I love you" to Han Solo, and he says "I know." That's a tearjerker for me. And the lightsaber duel at the end, you know. And then of course, you know, you get with Return of the Jedi, which is entertaining, I guess, but you know, um, yeah. So, and I saw these films in the theater when they came out, and then you get this bonus disc, which is it's kind of cool, telling you what like the cinema was like at the time. Um, yeah, so I've went on too long. I went 5 minutes too far, too much. Um, I guess Internet Eric left because it's two people now. Um, anyways, to the people that are watching the recorded version right now, it's Wednesday night, it's 10:11 at night. It's Eastern Standard Time, and tomorrow I'm gonna try. I think I'll be on here tomorrow. I don't see why not. I don't think I'm gonna go anywhere. So um, maybe I'll try and be on a little earlier. We'll see how things go. You know, what can you do? You know, you do this and you see what happens. You know, so anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for your company, Sasha and Wolf. And we'll see you soon. Okay. Thanks a lot. Take care and see you later.